Knowing what we know now today, what do you actually see as the future of AI and machine learning when it comes to cardiovascular care in just 5 years? Like, where do you think we might be?
Yeah. So I see there may be, broadly speaking, two kinds of AI, predictive and generative. And what we've mostly been talking about is predictive. And with predictive, essentially, the AI looks at a standard test and upskills it. So an ECG, an inexpensive, easy to obtain test, can do what an echocardiogram or CT or MRI can. And then we can see if it's getting it right or not, right? Because if the AI read of the ECG says there's a weak heart pump, we can then do the echo and see is it right or not. So those tests, I think, are now approved and will be integrating into practice fairly rapidly because they're just so useful, practical, and predictable. Generative AI, I think, will be very transformative, but it's a little farther behind. Because when you ask, for example, a generative AI, write a haiku for me, it'll do it. But how do you judge if it's a good one or not? And one of the issues, of course, with generative AI, and I think it's a solvable problem, but we're not quite there yet, is that of hallucinations. And I'll give you a very real example. We had a patient who we wanted to apply a specific defibrillator to, one that goes under the skin as opposed to down into the heart. And we asked a generative AI, has this been done immediately after heart surgery, and what's the experience with it? And it said, yes, it's been safely done. And there was a study with 24 patients, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We said, oh, give us the reference. And it did. And it was a very legitimate looking reference, right? Journal of Cardiac Electrophysiology, 2019, with names of people we know. And then we looked up the reference and it didn't exist because it's designed to, saying it fills in the next word is a little bit of an oversimplification, but it is designed to create realistic looking sentences. And in medicine, we have to make sure we get it right. So the generative AI work in medicine is coming. I think we'll, even as early as next year, we'll start seeing some early use cases. And it will be doing things like summarizing data and pulling out key facts and data. But I believe it's farther behind, and we'll have to be very thoughtful about how we test it, vet it, and validate it, because it's critical for any new tool in medicine. As I mentioned, we want to cure, not break things. So those are my 2 cents. But I do see this sequential evolution that will empower all of us in healthcare to hopefully spend more time talking to people rather than clicking in computers, and use that time more effectively to identify important conditions, because our tools will be more helpful to us.
Giving humans more time to be human?
That's what we do best, right?
Exactly.